Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And tonight we're going to be talking about this case with T.I., Tiny, the OMG Girls, and the Bratz doll owner basically suing them because they sent in a demand letter feeling like the OMG Girls that Tiny created was ripped off within the dolls. They wanted to get up to 100 million in damages for this, and I sat in the trial most of the days. I think I probably missed like 2 days out of however many. And I'm here to give you guys the scoop of what went down in the courtroom and break everything down for you. Okay? But let's go and get on into it while y'all come on in, and y'all gonna have to just play catch up because we moving right along. All right, so T.I. and Tiny, as you guys know, they are famous for different reasons as far as being in the industry. T.I., he was a rapper. He has like his hits, Rubber Band Man, and so many other hits. They also had like a TV show together. So Tiny she was kind of like famous before T.I. She was in the group Escape. They got together. They, grew in popularity. They had this TV show where Tiny branched off with Toya, which is Lil Wayne's baby mama. And on Tiny and Toya's show is where she basically created the group, the OMG Girls, based off of their children, trying to make them, pop. Now, Reginae, which is Lil Wayne's daughter, she basically dropped out of the group, and another girl dropped out of the group because she was pretty much too young. And then the OMG Girls ultimately ended up consisting of 3 girls. Okay, so it's Beja Rodriguez, Zonique Pullins, which is Tiny's daughter, and another young lady by the name of Brianna Womack. Now, they basically, had different tours that they went on. They went to several, red carpet events. They performed on like the Scream tour with Mindless Behavior and other artists. And they were kind of like trying to, make a way for themselves. Now, in 2015, they took to social media and basically revealed that they no longer were going to be a group anymore, and that they were basically going to focus on their solo projects, and they wanted their fans to still support them individually. Now, 2018, 2019 is when the OMG dolls then get pushed out on the market. Now, once the OMG dolls then get introduced to the market, then people started to get confused about these dolls. People started to feel like they looked like the OMG Girls. Some of the dolls include this doll right here by the name of Honeylicious. There's other dolls that kind of had their exact outfits that they wore in their careers. And there were people who felt confused by the dolls, thinking that they were basically a cosign from the OMG Girls. So I want to say there was somebody who went to the store, they seen these dolls, and in 2020, there was a woman by the name of Crystal who basically texted Tiny on the phone, and she said something to the effect of, "Oh my God, the OMG Girls are in Target." So she thought that these dolls, these OMG dolls that were sold in Target and Walmart and all over, she thought that these dolls were in fact the OMG Girls. And there was several people who basically confused these dolls to be the OMG Girls. There was several dolls where they felt like, completely ripped off their looks, and people basically complained to Tiny about thinking that these dolls were theirs. Now, one of the main dolls that were at the head of this was this Chillax doll. Now, this chillax doll right here, she basically has an identical outfit to the OMG Girls when they performed on tour. Now, when they went on tour, this is one of the outfits that they had. And the doll basically mirrors, you know, the outfit to a T. Now, within the group, while they were in the group, they kind of solidified themselves as individuals by coloring their hair pink, purple, and blue. That was kind of like the signature look for the girls. And that was pretty much like a staple that, you know, their fans would basically remember them by wearing the pink, purple, and the blue. Now, there was a lot of kids who basically looked up to the group. They got a lot of recognition because they were able to be featured on T.I. and Tiny's show. Some of my pictures are not sliding into the frame, which is throwing me off because it's supposed to be a seamless stream and the photos are not photoing like they need to. Okay, so this right here is how they basically would show up to, you know, the world whenever they performed. Brianna Womack, which is to the left, she would have the purple hair. Zonique, which is Tiny's daughter, in the middle, she would have blue hair. And Beja Rodriguez, who is the daughter of a guy by the name of John, who was in the group Silk. You guys know the group Silk. There's a meeting in my bedroom. Y'all know that song? Okay, so Beja, from what I'm hearing, she is the daughter of one of the group members in that group. Okay? And so together they formed the OMG Girls. Now, like I said, in 2020, Tiny got a hold of this and she was like, hold up, wait. You know, I spent a lot of time building these girls and I want to protect them because they're dolls that go by OMG dolls. They're the OMG Girls. And there's this company who, you know, ain't giving us a piece of the pie and they're using their likeness. So Tiny and T.I. basically sent a cease and desist letter for them to stop the production of these dolls or else cut the girls in on some of the profits because they felt like their likeness was being used. Now, when they sent this cease and desist to the company no longer reached back out to them. They immediately filed a lawsuit to basically sue them for the audacity of calling them out for the girls' likeness in these dolls. They felt like, listen, we can do what we want to do, okay? That's what we do. We steal from y'all culture, and y'all can't do nothing about it. Sit your butt down and let me show you that I'm about to stun you because we're able to steal from y'all, and it is what it is, okay? So that's basically what happened. So they sent a cease and desist letter, and they're like, listen, stop the production or else, and MGA said, or else what? Okay, we gonna sue you. That's what, okay? So the doll company brung forth the lawsuit, and to which T.I. and Tiny basically countersued them because they felt like the audacity of you to sue me when you got these girls' likeness in these dolls, that you got their exact outfits in these dolls, and what? Like, so they countersued them. Now, the line of the OMG dolls consists of 71 dolls in total. So they released a total of 71 dolls under this brand. Now, of the 71 dolls, the court did not feel like all 71 were a ripoff of the OMG Girls. So they had to narrow down the number of dolls that they can claim to 31 dolls. So out of the 71 dolls that OMG Doll Company released, T.I. and Tiny were only able to say, hey, 31 of these dolls is what we feel like infringes on the OMG Girls likeness and things like that. Okay? So they got their legal teams together and it is a battle in court. So before I go forward, I'm going to basically talk about the legal team that is behind the lawsuit to get kind of just give you a full rounded breakdown of what was going on with this case. So I'm going to start with the billionaire company. So OMG is the company, not OMG, MGA. MGA is the company that basically created the Bratz dolls, okay? So if you guys remember the Bratz dolls, a lot of people in our culture like the Bratz dolls because they were more representative of what we kind of, more of like the culture, they looked more like black girls than the Barbie dolls that they would put out. So MGA company is the owner and creator of the Bratz dolls. Now, from the Bratz dolls, they have done different lines like the LOL Surprise dolls and the OMG dolls. Now, the legal team who was defending them are these lawyers right here. So at the top is Jennifer Keller, Chase Skolnick, Ahmad, I don't know how to say his last name. He, at the first trial, the one on the very right, he was litigating and like talking to like some of the people, but this time he just was, I guess, assisting. But the main two lawyers that was litigating as far as cross-examining the witnesses and trying this case to the jury is Jennifer Keller and Chase Skolnick. Now, in addition to these attorneys, they also were assisted by other partners in their law firm. Now, I believe Kay, which is the woman right here that you see to the left, and Jennifer, it's basically their law firm, and then all these other people are their partners. Now, in addition to this law firm, MGA also has their own attorneys that also were assisting in the litigation. So Elizabeth Lockman and Richard Grad are the VP of MGA's litigation and attorneys and the senior vice president of their attorneys. So it was a powerhouse of attorneys that was basically on MGA's side. They had their own in-house attorneys, and then they had this other law firm, Keller and Andale law firm, that also was, coming together to basically try this case. Now, for T.I. and Tiny, they also had a dream team of lawyers as well representing them. And I'm going to show you guys their attorneys now. Let me pull it up. Okay, so T.I. and Tiny's attorney, this is their team of attorneys. Now, I did not get all of their attorneys because just like MGA, T.I. and Tiny had a bunch of attorneys assisting and helping them as well. But I got kind of, some of the main ones. The two main attorneys that was litigating this case is John Kevel, which is this attorney right here. And then the black woman, I believe they were telling me she's black, but I guess she's mixed race. I don't know. Shantae Westmoreland, okay? She and John Kevel are a powerhouse of attorneys, and they did a damn good job litigating this case. Also, in addition, is B. Ivory Lamar, Miss Feisty, this is feisty little firecracker, Miss Erin Ranahan, and I believe Ceci Alvarez. So they have a big team of attorneys on T.I. and Tiny's side who basically helped them litigate this case. I seen like once there was, news that T.I. and Tiny didn't win the case. I seen like under the blogs, people are like, oh, they need better attorneys. These attorneys did a damn good job, okay? They did a damn good job. And they worked with what they had, and they put on a really good case. So I just want to say that. Now, let's move on. So let's get into, you know, a little bit about the trial. So as I stated, Tiny basically felt like the OMG Girls likeness was being ripped off. She got a text from somebody by the name of Crystal. She sent a cease and desist letter to MGA. Once they got the cease and desist letter, MGA decided to directly just go ahead and sue them. And then that's how we are here. Now, the jury who was basically deciding this case was much different than the first jury. So if you guys don't know, this case was set to trial in January. It went on for about 5 days, and then it was declared a mistrial. Now, once it was declared a mistrial, I spoke to one of the jurors, and one of the jurors felt like MGA was racist. They felt like they were trying to play up to the racism of the jury, and he felt like they absolutely ripped off Tiny and T.I. I'm going to share a little bit about a little quick clip of that juror, and then we're going to go and move forward. But I just kind of want to give you guys a full breakdown.
You know, I guess what you got to expect. But I mean, just found that very difficult to believe.
So what did you think when they had the all-white outfit of older group, and then they had the all-white outfit of the OMG Girls, and then they were saying like, oh, well, we could have got inspiration from these people, but the outfit looked exactly like the OMG outfit.
I mean, I just didn't believe that. I mean, I just thought these are too similar to be not intentional. That's now, I just at the end here, a few of the jurors, I don't think maybe agreed with me. But I mean, to me, it was not a coincidence that the names were so similar, the outfits were so similar, and of course they're saying, well, exactly what is the image? Is it just the clothes? Is it layered? Is it the names? To me, you put it all together, I have no doubt that they were trying to take advantage of the OMG Girls' popularity.
All right, so that was one of the jurors. Let me know if you guys heard it. Hopefully you guys heard it. So that was one of the jurors from the last trial when it got declared a mistrial. Now, the last trial consisted of mostly older people, like grandmamas, granddaddies, like mostly older people. Nobody on the jury was black. Nobody on the jury was mixed race, black, like they were all like white or Asian or whatever. And they were like all old, like not familiar with, you know, the hip trend and everything like that. So that particular jury felt like, number one, I found it odd that, number one, there's no black people on the jury. He said he found it odd that all the people on the jury were like older, and he felt like they intentionally were trying to play up on, you know, the people's racism within the jury by their tactics in going after T.I. and Tiny. Now, the case basically got into a mistrial because one of the women who bought the dolls, they basically said that they're tired of big companies stealing from the black community and ripping off the black community and not, you know, compensating black creatives for stealing their likeness. And that was one of the rules that you are not supposed to say, or else you're in violation of the court. You're not supposed to call out cultural appropriation, which is the very crux of the case. Like, the case comes down to cultural appropriation, stealing the likeness from black people, And that's the very thing that is oh no, you can't say that. Like, you can't tell the jury that. And that's what basically caused a mistrial. Now, they had to get a all new jury. And this go round, the jury consists of 4 men and 4 women. All 4 men were white. So it was all totally white men or whatever. They were much younger. There was like one guy who was like a little older, but majority of them were kind of like younger, 30, maybe 40, maybe 20, year old white men. And then the women, there were 2 Asian women, one girl who looked like she could be Asian, but my friend says she's Hispanic. And then there was another girl who looked like she was also Hispanic to me. And that's basically what the jury consisted of. Again, this time there was no black people on the jury, nobody who looked other than white, and like nobody that looked like they from the culture. Now, even though there wasn't anybody who looked like they were, of the culture, there were people on the jury who said that they were familiar with T.I. and that they were a fan of his music. I think it was like 3 people who were on the jury said that, that they knew T.I., they listened to his music and things like that. So even though they weren't really of the culture, 3 of them did listen to T.I.'s music, okay? So that's that. So now let's get into the case. So once the case basically started, they did opening statements and they said how they felt like, number one, the dolls were marketed as a girl group. Now, the OMG Girls is a girl group, and they felt like, the dolls were marketed as a girl group. They also felt like the doll Chillax was very similar to the white and black outfit that they performed in. They felt like the doll Class Prez was a replica of Beja Rodriguez's tutu dress. They said that they didn't really, feel like Isaac Larian, which is the owner of the doll company, was credible. And they said that there was several consumers who purchased the dolls who felt like they were confused in thinking that these dolls were the OMG Girls. They said that it was willful infringement and not regular infringement. They felt like they willfully looked at them, copied them, and did it intentionally. They had talked about the main designer, which is a woman by the name of Blanche Consorti, and how she claimed that the dolls didn't have anything to do with the OMG Girls. Isaac Larian basically said that, which is the owner of the doll company, he basically said that the OMG Girls were nothing. They were not popular enough. They were not famous. They ain't shit, basically. So why would he copy them or whatever? He said that they never basically sold an album, and they, felt like they wasn't ish. So, in their opening statements, MGA said that they wanted to put out dolls that were fashion forward in looks. They said that they wanted to put out like celebrity inspired dolls. They said OMG Girls were not unique. They said OMG, the term was already out prior to them. They said they feel like this whole thing was a shakedown. They said their biggest claim of the OMG Girls was being on their parents' reality show. And even with the help of Tiny spending $1 million to develop their act, and with T.I. performing with them, it didn't happen. And they said they didn't go anywhere. And even with the advantages, they didn't make it. That is not us being demeaning. They did not happen or make it. They said Isaac Larian, the owner, he beat the odds from being a Jewish kid in a poor neighborhood to coming to the U.S. when he was 17 and being a billionaire. They said Laura Stevens, which is the black designer, that she included things from her own community. Now, Laura Stevens is a black woman, and in the opening statements, they said, you know, Laura Stevens didn't copy the OMG Girls. She basically included stuff from her own community and from herself, and that's kind of what inspired the dolls. They said that the Bratz dolls live in concert was released in 2005, and they had rocker dolls back in 2005. They said that the OMG name was not unique. They said them wearing tutus was not unique. They said Katy Perry and Avril Lavigne used to wear tutus. And they said the OMG dolls actually copied them. So their claim was, listen, we created the Bratz dolls and we feel like the OMG Girls copied us. Okay? They said T.I. didn't take the case seriously. They showed like a video of him at his deposition. They showed messages where it showed that the OMG Girls said that they were not going to be a group anymore. And it says that the pink and black hair look from Beja that they claimed was a copy was not a copy, and they got inspired by somebody else. They said, and what I found interesting too, in their opening statement, the white attorney, Jennifer Keller, she referred to Tiny and T.I. as these people. She was like, these people. You know, when white people use the these people, you already know what it give, okay? It gave every bit of ill. How could you think we would steal from these people? You already know what it gave. And they said any reasonable consumer would not confuse the dolls. Okay. So the first witness on the stand was Tiny. Tiny basically talked about how, you know, just because the OMG Girls said that they broke up in 2015, she talked about how she was in the group Escape, how their biggest success kind of came, you know, before, back in the 90s, but ultimately when they got back together, how popular they were and how they're still touring together all these years later, and how they broke up for 17 years and then got back together. So they kind of explained that just because the OMG Girls kind of said that they were breaking up doesn't mean that they're officially broken up, because in groups, you go your separate ways and you come back as a group. Okay? But let's get to the nitty and gritty of it all, okay? The two main witnesses. Now, I could go through everything line by line. T.I.'s testimony, Zonique's testimony, the consumer's testimony. But the thing that kind of shook up the case and shook the tables for me was the two main designers and two head designers of the dolls that testified in this case. Okay? So I'm going to skip over T.I.'s testimony. I'm going to skip over Tiny, Zonique testimony. And we're going to get down to the nitty and gritty of, did y'all steal from these people or what? Did y'all take from them or what? Okay? Let's talk about it. Let's get down to the nitty and gritty. So Blanche Consorti is this designer right here. And she is basically the one of the head designers of the OMG dolls. Now, she went to school, and immediately after school, she graduated from, it's in my notes, she graduated from somewhere. And when she graduated, she was offered this position to make these dolls. In addition to Blanche Consorti, there was also Laura Stevens, who also was one of the designers of the dolls. Now we're going to start with Laura Stevens, okay? Even though she testified second, but I just want to start with her first, okay? Then we'll go to Miss Blanche. No. Let's go in order. Let's go in order, child. Let's go in order. All right, let's start with Blanche. Okay. Let's start with Blanche, y'all. Let's start with Blanche. Let's go in order. So Blanche is the first designer who got on the stand and testified. She created up to 100 dolls. She says that she never stole from the Harris family. She's from the Bay Area, and she played with dolls all her life. She then became like more obsessed with dolls when her siblings went to college. And at that point, she was lonely, so the dolls was her friends. Okay? She went to school in Rhode Island. She says before she ever made the dolls, she looked at the competitors' dolls, and she basically wanted to, have the dolls look and be a reflection of humans. And she said that it was important to make clothes that are recognizable to the fans in following trends. Now, this is something that they didn't really hone in on, but when she said this, I felt like clearly, yeah, that's exactly what you do. You look at people who are popular on the internet, and you want the dolls to be recognizable because you're following trends and ripping off people's fucking likeness. But her testimony, she says, the dolls, and then this is her when she was on the stand. The dolls are like, like she has like this weird kind of like, I don't know. She was annoying as hell to me. But the jurors really, you could tell that they really, she was like the jurors loved her, okay? And when she was on the stand, you can tell they were in awe of her speaking. But for me, it was like somebody scratching a chalkboard, and it was like excruciating to me. But the jurors, they loved her. So they basically asked her if she copied the girls, and she said that she relied on trends, okay? And she wanted the dolls to be a reflection of humans, and she felt it was important to make clothes that are recognizable to the fans in following trends. She said that she relied on trend reports when creating the LOL Surprise dolls, says they came out in 2016 before the NYE performance by the OMG Girls. She says that the line basically was to be modeled after popular acronyms that we use in texting. So she said the LOL Surprise was, it started with LOL, and then they went to OMG, and then they went to like JK, and they said like they didn't copy the OMG Girls, that they were just basically following popular acronyms in texting. Okay, they said, our first line was LOL Surprise, our next line was OMG, and then we had another line that we released called JK. And oftentimes in our vision and our stuff that we would come out with, we would use the terms BTW, G2G, TTYL, OOTD, etc. They have about 5 spin-off product lines. And then she says they found there was a lack of diversity and wanted to have diversity in dolls because it was underrepresented and wanted the kids to see themselves in the dolls. Okay? So they took her through a series of dolls. Okay? They took her through a series of dolls, and they would put like one doll up at a time. So she had to go through almost every single doll, and she talked about like they would put up a doll, and let's say this is a doll, and they would like, tell me about this doll. Did you design this doll? And then she would pick up the doll, and then she'd be like, yes. This doll is Honeylicious, and she's a pop star, and she has like a really bubbly personality. Her best friend is Sweet's OMG doll, and they're in a band, and she has her pet that she has is whatever pet, you know, and she's and then they're like, so what is she wearing? So she's wearing a violet hair, and she has this rose pink outfit. Is that similar to the OMG doll, OMG Girls? No, this is like the OMG Girls have purple on. This doll has violet and lily color. You know, this is not a copy of the OMG dolls because this color is violet. This color is lavender. Look at her picture. This is not a copy of the OMG Girls. That her shirt is a purple shirt. And this is lavender. And then it has a touch of pink on it. I didn't copy the OMG Girls. You know, and then so they would show a picture of the OMG Girls, and they would show like a doll that looked like them, and they would be like, well, my doll has on a tutu, and she has on a tutu, but her tutu is pink, and my tutu is pink with a flower on it, okay? So you see, this is different because this tutu has a flower, and that tutu it's pink. And on this doll, we have a belt on the shirt. And her, you know, she doesn't have a belt like this doll has, you know, and so she did that for so many dolls. Okay, so we sat there and we listened to her describe I don't think they went through every doll, but it was like most of the dolls, okay? Like most of the dolls, she's like, and this is her best friend, and they like to go to parties, and you know, she's an R&B group, and this doll right here, she does country, and they're BFFs, and they like sunshine and rainbows, and they like to go to concerts, and they meet up together for play dates, and this doll, they're in a rock band, and she's a rocker girl, and she's, you know, she's a gothic girl. This doll is a rock star. And this doll is like a punk gothic girl. So this isn't like the OMG Girls because this is a rock girl, and this is a punk you know, doll. And so she went through all the dolls. She talked about all of their personalities. She talked like, you know, the dolls was her best friends. Like, you know, like the way she was talking, like these are her homegirls. You know how you would describe your homegirl and be like, yeah, you know, such and such, my homegirl, you know, she loud. She got, you know, a person like, you know, she's like the loud one in the group, or, oh, this homegirl is like the quiet one. Like, this how she was describing the dolls. Like, each doll, she described their personalities, what they were wearing. They went through the list of like what the doll had on and what the OMG girls had on. And they were like, well, they have on purple and this one has lavender. They have on pink and this is more of like a lilac color and this is more of a fuchsia and this like bullshit like that. So that was how she was basically on the stand when it came to MGA basically, asking her about the dolls. So then it came time for T.I.'s attorney to basically cross-examine her, okay? So when T.I.'s attorney, Mr. Kevel, got on the stand, it was right after they asked her, why are you here today? She said, I'm here because I did not steal from them. And I'm paraphrasing, obviously. I'm here because I did not steal from them. And we created these dolls and I want to protect the other designers that helped working on these dolls. And, we put so much work into these dolls and I created these. Girl, the TikTok where the white girls, when they on TikTok and then they do this fake cry and then immediately it's like, she was like, I came here because like this, it was so like performative. It was so performative, bro. Like, it was like, are you for real? Are you like, you being for real right now? Seriously? It was so, it was so fake. It was so fake. But she did this fake Karen cry. And the jury basically ate it up. Oh my God, this poor white girl who created these dolls is crying on the stand. And oh my God. So it was child performance of the damn century. So then here comes T.I.'s attorney. He said, you okay? How you doing? I'll give you a minute. Let me know when you're ready. Hi, Blanche. How are you doing today? I'm good. Okay, let's get down to it. Let's talk about these dolls. Okay? He said hold on, wait. Where was Cross? Oh, and also what prompted the cry, the fake cry, was her talking about the doll test video. You know the doll test video where the kids gravitated to like a certain race of doll, like, you know what I'm saying? That was also kind of what prompted it. Let me see. Okay, so he said, you said you never listened to hip hop and never heard of Escape, and that when you left in June 2021, that you were in charge of making the Little Tots. Okay? And then she was like, yes, because there was the LOL Surprise dolls, which is a tots, and then there was the OMG dolls. He said, did you leave MGA because of the scandal with the little tots when some of the tots would go into water and they would have what appeared to be lingerie in bondage? Immediately, she didn't know. Because apparently in 2021, she stopped working as a doll designer for MGA. And when she stopped working as a doll designer for MGA, it was right around the time of the scandal. So basically what he was asking her was, ma'am, you got yourself together? You good? Let's go. So you were, in fact, working at the time that there was a scandal that when you put the dolls in water and you put them in ice cold water, they would have on lingerie. Were you not? A scandal? There was like acting like she didn't know about a damn scandal. Girl, you just got up here and told us these dolls' personality, they best friend, they pet, and now you mean to tell me that you don't remember that there was a scandal about the dolls, that when you put them in water, they had fishnet stockings on, they had devil tattoos, and they had on lingerie? She was like, is that the reason why you stopped working at MGA? I don't remember. I don't remember. He was like, didn't Target pull the dolls from Target because there was moms complaining about these dolls having caution tape covering up their genitals? I don't remember. He said, on your mood board, you have pictures on your mood board to design these dolls, right? Okay? Because the whole thing and the whole, the whole thing that they were basically trying to say was that the OMG girls were nothing that they would want to make dolls behind. They said that they were too sexualized and that they would not make dolls after the OMG girls. Okay? They showed this photo right here. Hold on, let me pull it up. I don't know why some of this stuff is not going into my damn thing. All right, so they showed this picture right here. And when they were basically cross-examining some of the OMG girls, the lawyers was basically saying that the OMG girls was basically too sexualized. Like they were too sexy. They would not model dolls after them and everything like that. So Kevel was like, okay, so you guys are saying that you wouldn't model the dolls after the girls, but on your mood boards, he pulled up their mood boards. He was like, is that a picture of Little Kim on your mood board? Did you know that Little Kim went to jail for lying to a jury and selling drugs or whatever he said about Lil' Kim? I wasn't copying off of Little Kim, her image. I just was getting inspiration from the outfit. Like, I liked the leopard in the outfit, and I was getting inspiration from the leopard. He was like, is this something that you model dolls for little kids after? This is on your mood board. This picture right here is on your mood board. But, basically you're saying that the OMG Girls was too sexualized and you wouldn't model them after the OMG Girls, and you have Little Kim on your mood board. He said, is this Marilyn Manson also on your mood board? He said, this is a picture of Marilyn Manson, because they had their mood boards, and basically on their mood boards was what they basically got supposedly their inspiration from. So he pulled up this picture of Marilyn Manson that was on one of their mood boards for the dolls. He was like, is this Marilyn Manson with a what is this, a Nazi hat right here that you have for the OMG dolls? I just was like copying. He was like, did you know that Marilyn Manson had been accused of sexual abuse? Then she didn't know. Like, she didn't know. And then he pulled up other images of the mood board, and he's like, is this a picture of a woman that's her breasts are naked and she just has pasties on her breast? It was just for the like everything that they would point out that was sexually charged or racy. Her inspiration wasn't the outfit, even though the dolls had lingerie on. Her inspiration wasn't the outfit. It was the hair or the makeup, or, oh, it's because this is like, it was always something else, even though you had inappropriate stuff on your freaking mood board. So let me pull up the picture. I had sent myself, oh well. Hold on. Hold on, I'm trying to see the mood board. Anyway. All right, so let's move on. So she was like stunned and she didn't know. He said, you said that you didn't copy anything from the Harris family. You didn't copy anything from T.I. or the OMG Girls. She was like, no, we didn't copy anything from the girls. So he pulls up a photo of one of their design documents, and on their design document for the Honeylicious doll, this doll right here, this Honeylicious doll was on their design document. Also, a photo of T.I. Hold on, wait. I had this down and now it's not on here. All right. So they pulled up the design document for this doll, and on the design document, he said, do you recognize this man right here in this photo? Why are the pictures not saving right? Hold on, y'all. This was supposed to go in. What the hell? This is annoying. My pictures are not dragging and dropping in like they're supposed to. I'm having a problem real quick. All right. There we go. So on their design document is this picture right here. So the attorney is like, okay, so you have the design for this doll, and you have this picture of this man on the design document, and there is an arrow from his chain that points to the chain on the doll, saying that you're copying the chain from this chain to this doll. Do you know that this is T.I. on this photo? And this is on your design document to make this doll? She started looking and she's like, that's T.I.? That's Mr. Harris? He said, yes. The picture that you have on your design document to make this doll is T.I. Did you know that? She said, so you're telling me that's him on the thing? He said, yes, that's T.I. So then T.I. gets up, he stands up and he salutes and he's like, yes, that's me on the thing. She said, I didn't know that was him. I didn't know that was, I just seen a man and we just copied the dog tag. I didn't know that was T.I. So he like, so how can you be certain that you didn't copy from the OMG Girls if you have literally T.I. on your design document to make this doll, and you're claiming that you literally stealing from T.I. to make the doll? She's like, I just saw a man and I just was copying that he had a dog tag. I wasn't copying T.I. I did not copy the OMG Girls and I did not copy T.I. So he like, all right. So then he showed her images of the other dolls. And she basically hold on, where did it go? Okay, my bad. I had to get back to my spot. All right. So anyway, so he showed her the dolls and he showed her T.I. and he's like, ain't that T.I. on the doll? Whatever. She claimed she didn't know. She just seen a basically what she should have said was, all you niggas look alike. And I just seen a black man and I don't know that's him. So then he got to talking about an email between her employees and herself. So in 2019, one of her employees sent her an email with a video link of the OMG Girls. And they basically were saying that the OMG Dolls was in a song. So Flo Milli has a song where she says, I'm an OMG girl. I'm an OMG doll like a beauty or like an OMG girl or something. The rapper Flo Milli. So she has this song where she has a line about she's a OMG girl, she's the OMG doll, like the something. She's the OMG girl. She was saying she was an OMG girl, and she was playing homage to the OMG Girls. In that song, her rapping about the OMG Girls, they thought that the lyric was about the OMG dolls. So her company, within the company, they basically sent emails out, and they were like, hey, there is a song about the OMG dolls. Then they were like, oh, wait, no, this is the OMG Girls. This ain't the OMG dolls. I mean, yeah, this is about the OMG Girls. So they were like, you guys knew about the OMG Girls and you did not do anything to change confusion. And he was like, even people within your company confused lyrics and stuff about the OMG Girls with the OMG dolls. She claimed she didn't know. So then she basically said that she didn't copy them. She didn't get any inspiration from them, that, that they only draw inspiration from the culture. So he started to talk to her about Lady Gaga. Now, she is a huge stan of Lady Gaga. Most of all of their mood boards are filled with pictures of Lady Gaga. Their design documents state that they are creating a doll, which is basically a mixture of the Beyonce and Lady Gaga as a celebrity. That was their whole follow and their whole basically template to make these dolls. Let's make dolls that look like Lady Gaga and Beyonce. And all of the mood boards have mostly Lady Gaga, mostly they have other celebrities too, but the main two celebrities that you see a lot in a lot of their mood boards is Nicki Minaj, Lady Gaga, and Beyonce. They threw in like a Katy Perry here and like another girl there, here and there, but the main documents that they told their designers to make dolls like was Lady Gaga and Beyonce. So he said, okay, you're a huge Lady Gaga fan, right? You follow her all the time. All of your mood boards mostly have Lady Gaga in them. You have this email right here, and in this single email, you mentioned Lady Gaga 20 times. He said, did you know that Vincent Herbert, who is Lady Gaga, or who was Lady Gaga's manager, is also the very person who signed the OMG Girls? She was like, no, I didn't know. Okay, did you know that Lady Gaga, and mind you, she is obsessed with Lady Gaga. Like, everything is mainly Lady Gaga from her, mostly, and Beyonce, but it's mainly like Lady Gaga, way more than Beyonce. He said, did you know that Lady Gaga said that she was obsessed with the OMG Girls, and she put out a tweet and she said, I'm sort of obsessed with these little cuties, the OMG Girls. I just want to comb their hair and tie bows in it all day. Did you know that Lady Gaga was who, basically he said, the girl that you obsessed with, did you know that she was obsessed with the OMG Girls and she tweeted about them? No, I didn't know that, that she tweeted about them. He said, did you know Beyonce, who you also have in your mood boards and a big inspiration to the dolls? Did you know that Beyonce credited the OMG Girls for her name on Instagram? Whenever she came up with the name on Instagram, she credited it to the OMG Girls. And Beyonce's Instagram was Batty B, and Beyonce said in a post that she got that from the OMG Girls. No, I didn't know that, you know. So they were like, hello, the two main people that you modeled these dolls from, both Beyonce and Lady Gaga, both publicly declared the OMG Girls as a thing. Here is a letter from Beyonce saying that she created her Instagram account from the OMG Girls. Here is Lady Gaga, who you also have on here, posting and raving about the OMG Girls. Like, what's going on? Like, you had no idea about it? They're like, no, I never knew about that. I don't know who they are. Like, I just only barely heard about them when this lawsuit started. He was like, so you never heard nothing? Didn't you get an email with their video in 2019? She's like, yeah, I mean, I did get the email that had the OMG Girls video, but I didn't click the link. I know for sure I did not click the link, and I did not watch the music video. He said, so you vividly remember that you didn't click the link to watch the OMG Girls, and you knew for a fact that you got the email, but you didn't watch their video. But the main biggest scandal behind the dolls, you didn't know nothing about it? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything, you know. So I was like, girl, you are lying. You are obsessed with Lady Gaga. Vincent Herbert signed them. She also is the manager of Lady Gaga. You are obsessed with this woman. You know about the OMG Girls. You're fucking lying. He said, are you paid to be here today? Like, what are you getting compensated? Because you stopped working for MGA in 2021. So, are you being compensated to be here today? She said, well, I now, you know, I did start working back for MGA recently. They just brought me back on as a freelance designer. And as a freelance designer, I get paid $75 an hour. And I'm getting paid that right now for my time. I am getting paid for my time to be here. So he was basically trying to show that she has an incentive to lie. You know, and he was basically, you know, in his lawyer way, trying to show the bitch is a fucking liar. She getting paid to be here. They fired this hoe in 2021. After the whole scandal, now she suddenly works for them again. After when she got fired, she said that she would never ever work for a doll company ever again. And she literally said that in her deposition that we took of her in this case. But now she works back with MGA and she's being compensated to be here. So he was basically trying to show that the bitch is untrustworthy and you can't trust the word that she say. However, white girl tears is gonna do it every time. And they was won over by her white girl tears. I want to show a little bit of a video of what happens when people dunked the dolls in the scandal that he was talking about. I'm going to show a little bit of clip of that. And then I'm going to go into the next doll designer, which is Laura Stevens. Okay. I'm going to show.
I'm going to put this one in cold water and I'm going to show you what is going to happen, okay? So putting in the cold water. What the f***? This doll, this underwear, right, starts to read. It looks like bandages or kind of tape or some shit. And it starts to read caution. around her private parts, right? It's reading caution. On top of that, on her hands, right, are shackles. They turn into black shackles. What the is this?
Okay, so that's one of the videos that basically was going viral as it pertains to these dolls, because people were getting upset because they felt like the dolls were way too grown, way too suggestive, and things like that. I'm gonna show you another video, and this is a big controversy that happened in the case, and she claimed to not know anything about it. So to me, once she acted like she knew everything about the dolls, their personalities, their best friends, the type of music they listen to, you knew every detail about these dolls. These are your literal best friends. But when you put lingerie on these fucking dolls and people call you out on it, you don't know about it, bitch, your credibility is shot with me, you know? But she did a good performance and she won them over with white girl tears. Anybody who thinks that putting lingerie and bondage on dolls is a fucking creep, disgusting, I don't trust a word you say, and you are a despicable person. Me as a mother, I am freaking, I don't know what the word is, but as soon as I've remembered, because I had forgot about this scandal, but as soon as I remembered about it and seeing that you are the person who is responsible for this and you made these dolls, you are despicable. Your credibility is shot. You are whack as hell, in my opinion. But again, I wasn't the deciding factor. The jury was, and they basically, you know, they were won over by what she had to say.
Little conspiracy theory things and videos that people post that maybe a lot of people don't believe because we don't know the people. I just seen a video on LOL dolls, and when you soak them in ice cold water, and the lingerie outfit that this little girl came out in. I'm gonna do it myself since my daughter has a ton of them, and we're gonna find out if it's really real. Okay, here we go. Okay. Little girl. Nothing on her. Okay. Here we go. You guys. Oh my God. Are you serious? Like, you guys see this, right? This is not fake. Okay? Oh my God. Let's do another one. Okay, another little one. Okay, nothing on her. You can see she's kind of got little white fishnet, which is kind of weird. Here we go.
Okay. So to me, her credibility was shot when you literally tell us everything about these dolls and then you act like you have no idea about it. You knew about the OMG Girls. You literally are obsessed with Lady Gaga. And you are obsessed with making these dolls and model them after Beyonce as well. And both of the main people have shouted the OMG Girls out. On top of that, you literally have design documents with T.I. in them. Also, there was mood boards that the dates, you know, came after the litigation started. So the mood boards of dolls that should have been created in 2015 or like a long time ago, the mood boards that were submitted to the court had dates that were after the litigation started with the trial, which is suspect. But hey, it is what it is. Now let's go to the next designer. So the next designer was a woman by the name of Laura Stevens. Let me take T.I.'s attorney off and let's talk about Miss Laura Stevens. Okay. Laura Stevens is also another designer who worked on these dolls along with Blanche Consorti, which is the girl who I just pulled up. Laura Stevens is basically a designer who designed the Runway Diva doll. She graduated Otis College. She said that she was the first African American to graduate from her college. She said when she was younger, she used to play with dolls and she would like to change them up and do their hair. She first worked at Mattel, which is Barbie. Mattel is Barbie. And she also worked at a company by the name of Jack Pacific. She says that she didn't create the dolls after the OMG Girls. She says that she listens to hip hop and R&B. And she says when she would listen to music on the radio, she said she never heard the OMG Girls on the radio. She said she didn't know that they were this phenom of a group. She said that she watched T.I. and Tiny on the Family Hustle show. She said that she would watch their show. She followed them on Instagram, and she followed T.I., Tiny, and she also follows their 7-year-old daughter, Eris. She said because she associated the OMG Girls with T.I. and Tiny, she felt like T.I. and Tiny were disgusting, and she would not make dolls after them because the OMG dolls are associated with T.I. and Tiny, even though she follows them on social media and continues to follow T.I. and Tiny up until this lawsuit started. Now, once this lawsuit started, then she unfollowed Tiny, and she says that the reason why she unfollowed Tiny was because too many pictures of Tiny was coming into her feed, and she was seeing so many pictures of Tiny that she didn't even get to see photos of her family and friends. So that is why she unfollowed Tiny. She then says, I don't think that I would ever make a doll after them because T.I. took his daughter to the gynecologist, and I saw that on TV. And she was literally a fucking hood rat minstrel show. You know how they would like have black people and you know how like when white people imitate black people and they do like a very exaggerated character of what they think a ghetto black girl acts like? Y'all follow me? You know when there are white people, they copy black people and they do these hood ghetto girl videos and they're like super exaggerated and they rolling their neck and they, you know, doing all this and they got the ghetto black girl attitude. That was her on the stand. Think of the ghettoest black girl that you can think of. The ghettoest black, like the most hood rat, ratchet black girl. That was her on the stand. When she got on the stand, there was other attorneys that had nothing to do with T.I.'s case, but there were other like black attorneys who just kind of like, right, like the Catch Me Outside, like just extra. When she got on the stand, she was an embarrassment to black women. She looked sweet right here, but she was an embarrassment to all of us. And I'm not just saying that because I think, you know, T.I. and them should have won the case. If you ask anybody that was sitting in that courtroom, she was an embarrassment to black women. It was ridiculous. She got on that stand and she was, yes, like a shenane. She was acting fucking ridiculous. I literally was cringing. I'm literally cringing because here you are, a very accomplished woman. You are working for Barbie and Jack Pacific, and now you have this dream job working for MGA creating dolls. You are the first African American to graduate at your college. That is phenomenal. And although you feel or you claim or you say that you did not copy them, the behavior on the stand should have reflected the accomplishments that you have made. You allowed yourself to look like a fucking clown on that jury box. It was disgusting and it was ridiculous. I'm thinking, because even though, you know, I would have felt like it was dope for T.I. and Tiny to win. At the end of the day, I'm black first. So I'm black. I'm rooting for everybody black. Okay? You know, my thing is I'm rooting for everybody black. So even though she worked at MGA, I'm sitting there like, girl, like, represent for the black girls. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, you doing it. You doing it, girl. You accomplished. Like, that's a hell of a journey, and that's a hell of an accomplishment. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, you know, although she is on, you know, the side of MGA, I'm like, she about to represent for the black girls who are professionals, who are, you know, making strides. She got up there and was ghetto as hell. So let me go through her testimony. It was ridiculous. So she gets on the stand and she's like, I didn't copy y'all. I did not make dolls after T.I. and Tiny. And then so she was looking over at them and she was looking them up and down and she was like, I didn't make dolls after them. You know, and then they was like, well, ma'am, isn't it true that you even to this day still follow their 7-year-old daughter? She was like, I follow her because they told me not to delete nothing else. I'm like, delete nothing else? Well, what the hell else did you damn delete? She said, well, isn't it true that you only stopped following T.I. and Tiny after you started the litigation of this case? She said, I stopped following Tiny because she started coming down my news feed and she would be down my news feed. I didn't copy them. She said, I am disgusted. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but she said, I'm disgusted by them because I was watching the T.I. and Tiny show, and when I was watching the T.I. and Tiny show, he took his daughter to the gynecologist, and when he took his daughter to the gynecologist, I felt like it was sexual abusive, and I felt like that is nothing that is empowering for women. He said, well, okay, well, you seen that on TV, but you still followed T.I. and Tiny after that. Well, I might have still been following T.I. and Tiny, but I did not copy the dolls after them because I heard that T.I. and Tiny were sex trafficking women, and when they would go to different cities, they would drug women and they would be sex trafficking women, and they were negative. I seen it all over the Shade Room, and when I seen it all over the Shade Room, I was disgusted with T.I. and Tiny because they were sex trafficking girls. I was like, what? Like, why did you have to do all of that? Like, you could say all of that without doing all of that. Like, it was a lot. Like, she was like, He took his daughter to the gynecologist, and they were sex trafficking girls, and they were drugging women, and I would never make dolls after the OMG Girls because I associate them with T.I. and Tiny. And so he said, okay, so why did you follow their daughter? And why are you still following their daughter, their 7-year-old daughter, on social media? She says, well, I don't associate her with T.I. and Tiny. I associate her with being herself. And I know her from a cooking show. And when I would see her on a cooking show, she had like a YouTube show. He said, so the OMG Girls were teenagers, and you associate them with Tiny and T.I., which they have nothing to do with Tiny and T.I. They are individuals as well, but you draw the line at their 7-year-old daughter, and their 7-year-old daughter is not associated with them. She said, no, I don't associate her with them. I watched her because she has a cooking show. I remember her, like, it was like, girl, what? She said, she made the dolls after things that she seen, and then she looked over at T.I., and then when she looked over at T.I., she looked at him because T.I. was sitting there like, and she looked over at T.I. and she was like, I did not copy you. Me and the other people in there, I'm like, why are you doing that? So you mean to tell me your testimony is, and this is just me thinking for myself, your testimony is you watched them on The Family Hustle, right? The lawyer asked you on your deposition when you were deposed last year, you didn't bring up nothing about you unfollowing T.I. or Tiny or not liking them because of their sexual assault case. When we deposed you last year, you said that you stopped following Tiny because she was down your news feed. You mentioned nothing about this sex trafficking stuff. Did you know that there was no charges filed? Did you know that those claims were false and invalid? I didn't see anything about that. I didn't see anything about the charges being dropped. I just remember that they were sex trafficking girls. And he said, well, do you know that there was no validity to those claims and the case was dropped? She said, well, it was all over everywhere. And I was on all the blogs, and I seen all of the shade room, and I seen all of the blogs talking about it. He said, well, when you were deposed last year, you said that you don't do gossip, you don't like drama, and you don't follow blogs. So which one is it? You follow blogs or you don't? Because last year, you said something totally different when we deposed you. And you said that you don't follow the blogs, you're not into gossip, you're not into drama. But now you're telling me that you all into this drama and you just know so much about it and you all into gossip now? I was like, child, a mess. So apparently what happened was on the last trial, the attorneys was basically going after Zonique in a way that came off as to other people in the courtroom as racist. She was saying the N word with the ER. She was like questioning Zonique about her album title, how it got the word nigga in it. She was talking about how, you know, she uses profanity and like it was really feeling like racist. Okay, the way that she was coming at her. So the judge basically would not allow the lawyers to come at them in a slanderous way. So and able to bring in the slander, because they wanted to slander T.I., they wanted to slander Tiny, they wanted to like have this really messy mudslinging, these are despicable human type of thing. The judge said, no, you're not doing that. You're not coming with this racist approach. You're not doing it. So here comes Laura. He said, well, since she said she watched it and she was the designer, we can introduce the mudslinging with her. So instead of them doing the mudslinging, they got the black girl to act like a fucking hood rat on the stand, and she did it. Okay? And so he basically was saying like, you know, you guys have all this influence from this family. You literally, you're following their 7-year-old daughter to this day. You were following them up until this trial started. You have emails within your company talking about the OMG Girls. What did you guys do once you found out that people started to be confused about the brand and thinking that the OMG Girls and the OMG dolls were the same? You know, they were like, there was no confusion. Like we didn't see, you know, no confusion. Like we didn't, you know, there was no confusion. We didn't copy them, you know, and it was a mess. Like it was a mess. Basically the attorneys, they would like hit below the belt. Like it would be like doing like below the belt stuff. You know, they had another employee who they had her on the stand. Her name was Rachel Mache. Rachel Mache basically testified that she got an email from a guy in their research department saying, and that he was talking about the OMG dolls being in a song and it being actually the OMG Girls, and then they were questioning her about that. She claimed she didn't know nothing about it. She said, so then they wanted to know about their audience. Okay. So MGA ended up putting up an expert witness who did a survey of 2,000. Okay. So a guy by the name of Bruce Isaacson, he is the president of a marketing and research strategy firm. He was basically there to talk about these surveys that he made. So he did a survey of whether or not people would be confused and think that the dolls were the OMG Girls. So in the survey, he surveyed random people on the internet. There was nobody who came into a building, nobody that like, you know, he watched them take the survey. It was just like AI generated survey that he put in like key things to target people to take the survey. The people who took the survey, they had an incentive to get. So it didn't say how much monetary gain the people got, but they were compensated for taking the survey. So they surveyed almost 3,000 people. It was like 2,782 people. They had up certain dolls. And so this is basically how the survey went. So they would have a doll like this. So this is one of the dolls they put on the survey, right? So the survey questions would basically ask, who made this doll? What company do you think made the doll? Do you think that the dolls were made after anybody else? And if it was made after anybody else, do you think that the person had permission? So they were not, the people who took the survey were not shown any pictures of the OMG girls. They were not shown to be a black demographic. It was not proven the gender of the people. Now, when it came to the OMG dolls, these dolls performed well for non-white consumers. These dolls were different than Barbie. So Barbie, they said in their research, Barbie was for white girls, basically. White people brought Barbie. But when it came to the OMG dolls, from their research, it didn't perform well with white people. The main people who bought the dolls were not white. So he did this survey, doesn't specify who he surveyed. He surveyed people who were 18 and over, who potentially were going to buy a doll in 12 months in the future or 12 months in the past. And they put up this box, and they put up a couple other dolls, and in these boxes like this, they put, who do you think made this doll? Who do you think the maker was? What do you think the name, they got the name from or whatever? And they had like questions like that. So then they would put up this doll. Who do you think this doll is made after? Who do you think, did they get permission to make the doll? Who do you think made the doll, blah, blah. So basically, people would answer and they would say, oh, I think this doll looks like Beyonce. Oh, I think this doll looks like Lady Gaga. Oh, on the box, it says that it's the like, what's the name of the dolls? Oh, LOL, you know, MGA made the dolls, you know, like stuff. So like they would answer stuff that they seen on the picture. Okay. So T.I.'s attorney was basically like, who are the people that you surveyed for this doll? Like, we don't even know who you surveyed. Do you know? And then they start showing the research and they're like, MGA, their dolls are skewed black. They were like, in their marketing, they're specifically marketing to black people. Is this black people that you surveyed? Did you survey, like, who did you survey for these dolls? And then they were like, well, we did. I mean, we surveyed people in America. So if we surveyed people in America, then I'm sure, you know, the survey will reflect what the demographic is in America. But it's like, no, that's not true. Because just because you survey somebody in America, you could have surveyed 1,000 people in Montana. That doesn't reflect the demographic of the whole entire United States. Like, where did you survey these people at? They didn't really show who they surveyed. So when people would see the dolls, they're like, this doll looks like Beyonce. This doll looks like Lady Gaga. This doll was possibly made by Barbie. This doll was made by the Bratz dolls. You know, they were saying stuff like that. And none of the people that he surveyed said the OMG girls. So they said that they paid $135,000 for him to create this survey. So the survey cost the guy to make and survey these people. The base cost for the survey for him to conduct this survey was $135,000 that MGA paid. And then after the $135,000 that they paid for the survey to get created, the guy charged $850 per hour. And he basically didn't really show that the right audience was surveyed. You know, it didn't really show who the audience was that was surveyed, and he just kept saying, we survey people across America and the demographic reflects people in America. But it's like, no, if you're going to survey people who buy dolls, don't get people who buy Barbie and ask people who buy Barbie, because the people who buy Barbie, y'all have done research and it shows that are white girls. The people who buy OMG dolls are non-white. And then they showed, this is your data. This is your research. This is MGA's research paper that says the dolls are sold to non-white consumers. Did you survey this audience of non-white consumers? He's like, well, we surveyed across America and we feel like the survey reflects the demographic of America. Did you specifically survey the actual consumers that actually purchased these dolls, these specific dolls? Well, we asked people if they just bought a doll, and that's who we surveyed. They said, okay, so here's research data that shows these dolls are basically targeted to 5 to 10-year-old kids. Did you survey anybody that's 5 to 10 years old? No, we didn't survey anybody that was 5 to 10 years old. We surveyed 18 and older, and we surveyed, like that. So they were basically like, how are you saying that this proves that there is no confusion when you didn't even survey the right people? He was like, well, I stand by my survey and da-da-da-da. They said, well, didn't you in another case get discredited because of the survey that you did? Like, didn't you do a survey in another case and the judge disallowed it because of it had no merit to it, or some legal word she said, or something like that? He was like, oh yeah, my survey did get discredited in another case, but I stand behind my research and there was no confusion, and I surveyed 2,000 people and they said that none of the people said that the OMG dolls wasn't in any of the answers. They said, well, did you put any pictures of the OMG girls up along with this survey? Like, did you put OMG Girls on any of the papers or anything? No. So what do you mean? Like, so after that, they basically was showing that this is a bullshit survey. They're trying to say that, this survey surveyed the people. They said you didn't screen the people for race or ethnicity. They said, okay, they asked the guy, they said on Walmart.com, when you go to Walmart.com and you type in OMG Girls, they said the most popular things that pop up are the first results. They said the first results that come up is 2 OMG dolls, and then here is the OMG Girls. They said, did you review the analytics of the OMG Girls and basically base your survey on any of that? No. They said, he said, well, would it surprise you that 75% of the OMG doll fans are non-white? Did you reflect that in your survey? No. And so he's like, did you bring anybody in and sit them down and ask them about this survey? No, we did it online or whatever. So they basically had this survey. They paid all this money for the survey, and they're saying that it proves that the OMG girls were not confused with the OMG dolls because nobody who took the survey mentioned the OMG Girls. Nobody listed them in none of the result fields that they can mention. They didn't screen the people for race. So, like, they didn't ask, as the people were taking it, like, what's your ethnicity? What's your race? They didn't screen for that. And so they basically was saying that this survey was BS. Then Isaac Larian, which is the owner of the company, he testified in the case. He is the CEO and founder of MGA Entertainment. He started off his testimony by saying he is like a big charity guy. Like, he gives to charity. He donated $2.5 million to this charity, and he gave $5 million to COVID relief, and he supports LeBron James. And he said, I am a LeBron James Foundation supporter. LeBron James even said my name on the Ellen Show. He said that he lived in a house with no running water and no lights. And he worked in his dad's shop from the years of 9 years old to 17. He came to America with $750 that he borrowed from, that his mom borrowed from her brothers. He came here to live the American dream, and he worked as a dishwasher, worked his way up to a busboy, became a waiter. Because he was a waiter, that was able to support his time through college. He started licensing games like Nintendo, and he would license products from Nintendo and sell products. He said the first doll that he made sold 1 million pieces. He modeled the Bratz dolls after his daughter because she wanted diversity. In 2001, the Bratz sold $24 million in sales. He said at the time, Barbie's market dropped. He said the people of the jury, they saw 2 designers testify, but they have over 67 designers. And he says that he tells his people not to copy anybody. He says he took a risk. So basically, when he started the LOL surprise line, he says that he started to find out about this phenomenon on YouTube called the unboxing of toys. So he said that he took a risk, and he took even, mortgages out on his house to make this thing a success. He says that he started scouring YouTube, and he started out, instead of marketing on television like he normally would, he said he spent a lot of marketing dollars by hiring influencers. He said that he wanted dolls to be diverse because America is a melting pot. He says that He says he heard the Harris Party say that they invented tutus and bold makeup. And he says that in 2002, they had Bratz dolls with tutus on. He said that that the Bratz dolls were trendsetters. And he said even Zonique followed their trend. He said in 2020, Zonique even copied the Bratz dolls. So they showed a picture of Zonique, and the picture of Zonique was this picture right here in 2020. So they showed this earlier in the trial, but this is what he's referencing to. So this picture was October 6th, 2020. And Zonique has green eyeshadow on. And in her caption, she put Army Bratz doll. Okay? So he basically said, look, in 2020, even Zonique copied the Bratz dolls, and she wanted to be a Bratz doll. And she, even followed our trends. Our dolls are trendsetters. We set trends. And a lot of people followed trends that we followed, even the Harris Party. He said, what else did he say? He said, before the OMG dolls, they had Bratz live in concert, because like they were claiming that the OMG dolls were a girl group and they were modeled after the OMG Girls. And the owner of the Bratz company, he said, before the OMG Girls even existed, we had Bratz concert dolls. We had Bratz dolls who had pink, purple, and blue hair. We had Bratz Rock Angels dolls. And he was like, our dolls had their name ended with a Z too. He said he had a line called the Moxie Girl dolls, and the Moxie Girl dolls wore layered clothing and bold makeup way before the OMG Girls. He says a part of being successful is people making knockoffs. He said that Tiny even tried to rip off his dolls. He said that Tiny got manufacturers in China to try to make knockoff Bratz dolls. So he showed a picture of some dolls that I guess Tiny was trying to make dolls at one point. And he was basically saying that Tiny copied him and she copied his Bratz dolls, and she tried to knock off his dolls in China. He said that the LOL Surprise brand had many things that they released, like pets, accessories. They even had the JK brand. He said they got a trademark for the LOL Surprise OMG Outrageous Millennial Girls in 2021. He said that the survey that the dolls did, he said that their target audience was not marketed to just Black. It was marketed to everyone. He says that only 13% of the demographic that buys their dolls is Black. He said, only 13% of America is Black. My bad. The demographic in America, 13% of us is what makes up the population in America. And then he said 18% of their customers are Black. He said that this is a shakedown. And he said that T.I. and Tiny are trying to get a shakedown, and they're trying to get a come up out of him. He says that this is nothing but extortion, and he would never pay anybody trying to extort him. He says that he's angry that T.I. and Tiny would send him the cease and desist letter because they didn't contribute anything to the dolls. He said that they had nothing to do with the success of the dolls, and they're trying to make something out of nothing. He said that he would never give in to a shakedown. He said he built his company from the ground up. And he says he would like his legal fees paid once the jury finds that he did not steal from them. He says, I am angry with the American legal system for a case like this to come here to deal with something that everyone knows is a lie. He said he's angry with T.I. and Tiny's lawyers for making the Blanche Consorti girl cry. He said that it is not right that they made her cry on the stand. And he says that this is a frivolous counterclaim that was made. Okay. So T.I.'s lawyer basically cross-examined him, and he said that he basically accused Isaac Larian of being a person who follows trends on YouTube. He said that, and he was the last person to testify. He said that, okay, so T.I. and Tiny's lawyer basically said that the dolls that they put up on the screen look nothing like the OMG Girls. So they were like, you have these dolls of Bratz dolls. He said, do these dolls look like the OMG Girls or the dolls that you have now? No. Like, if you look at the dolls that they had, although the Bratz dolls did have edgy looks, they look nothing like the dolls that they have now. Like, the dolls that they made back in the Bratz era was more bland. Like, they had edgy clothes and stuff like that, but they were like bland. Like, they were more like bland, you know? Like, this is the doll that's modeled after his daughter. Hold on. So this is one of the dolls right here that's modeled after his daughter. And then some of the other dolls, let me see. Where they at? Where they at? I had them up here. Anyways, y'all get my drift. I don't know where that picture of them damn dolls went. Oh, here we go. So, you know, like they had edgy looks and stuff like that, but they didn't. These dolls do not look like the dolls that they have now. Like, these dolls were edgy. They had bold makeup and stuff like that, but they didn't really look like the dolls that are at question now. So the dolls that are in question now are dolls like this doll right here called Ferocious, the Honeylicious doll, the Chillax doll, this doll right here. These dolls, like the Bratz dolls did not look like these dolls. So basically what T.I.'s lawyer was basically trying to say was, you know, although your dolls, when you had the Bratz dolls, maybe some wore tutus, maybe some had blue hair or pink hair, they don't look like these dolls. Like, these are completely new dolls. So then he showed him how even in his like testimony and in his other statements, he said that these are new dolls. The OMG dolls are new dolls. There's nothing on the market like it. They're brand new dolls. So he was basically showing, like, even though you're talking about these dolls that you had before, these dolls are a brand new style of dolls. You following trends. You're looking for the latest trends, and looking through the latest trends, you ripped off the OMG Girls. Okay? So he was basically like, I don't like, basically you keep trying to say that you had dolls that had colored hair and stuff like that, but these dolls with these colored hair do not look like the dolls that are at question. The dolls that are at question look exactly like the OMG Girls. So they talked about, you know, how, what is up with my stuff not dragging and dropping in? This is blowing me. Oh, this is annoying. Okay. So they showed these dolls together as friends, and then they showed how the OMG dolls were even positioned like the girls. So when the dolls would be in the boxes and in the packaging and stuff like that, they would be in the packages the same way that the OMG Girls would be. So like if the OMG Girls are on the red carpet, they have the girl with the pink hair to the left, the girl with the purple hair in the middle, and then Zonique at the end. In the packages of the dolls, they would be packaged exactly how the OMG Girls would stand on the red carpet. He talked about how their outfits, these new dolls, because even though there were other dolls with these colors, these new dolls have exact copies of their outfits. He talked about how this New Year's Eve performance that Beja had pink hair and black hair, and how she had this silver and mesh type of outfit, and they also had on leg warmers. And they talked about how on this performance they have dolls that copied the exact look of them. So let me pull those up. I should have tested dropping everything in here before, but I didn't know that I would have this problem. So they showed this doll right here against Brianna Womack. And they were like, this is a copy of the girls. Then they showed this performance of them performing, and they said, this is a copy of the girls. Then they showed this doll right here. It had the same color and feel of their New Year's Eve performance. He said that they have how Zonique has the green hair, the leg warmers, and this outfit. He says the doll basically comes like in her accessories. She has the green hair like Zonique. Zonique had black roots, green hair, and this outfit, they were saying that this is a copy. When it came down to Zonique's boyfriend. So Zonique, she dated a boy in mindless behavior. She talked about how she dated Ray Ray in mindless behavior, how they went on tour together, and how it was a big rave that the OMG Girls and mindless behavior was going on tour. She said that, you know, the same way that her boyfriend Ray Ray has the long straight hair, and how they were, you know, like a dynamic duo. She said that this doll right here has the same hair as Zonique with her blue hair, and this doll right here has the same look of Ray Ray, and she's felt like this doll was her same skin tone, and you know, things like that. The girl Blanche Consorti, she said that she didn't copy them. She got inspiration from her boyfriend. They showed a picture of her and her boyfriend with striped leggings. And I guess like he had on striped leggings and he had blonde hair. And she said that she got inspiration from her boyfriend. T.I. and Tiny's lawyer basically pointed out that the picture that she showed of her and her boyfriend was a picture that they took way after the dolls were already created, and saying that this picture came way after the dolls were created. So how are you saying you got inspiration by your boyfriend when your boyfriend has blonde hair? This doll has long black hair. The picture that you're showing and you're saying, look, my boyfriend has striped pants on. It came way after the dolls were already created. And they were saying that they copied Zonique and her boyfriend. They also pointed out the fact that in addition to that, they felt like these dolls copied their 106 in Park looks. Okay? They said that these are looks that they wore on 106 in Park, and that the style was mirrored off of the OMG Girls. They said that the Honeylicious doll was also a copy. They said this was also a copy of Zonique when she wore a mohawk. They said, what else? Let me see. And they also talked about how, Tiny basically was copied in the dolls. They said that, after this lawsuit started, they then came out with a doll called Major Lady. Now, this doll right here comes and is sold in a group of 4. Okay? So this doll right here, the name of this doll is Major Lady. So they were like, listen, not only did you guys rip off the OMG Girls, not only did you guys have T.I. in your design documents, but you also have this doll right here that is mirrored after Tiny Harris. So they said this picture of Tiny, she is wearing her hair exactly like this doll, Major Lady. They said that Tiny, when she is on Instagram, her name is Major Girl, and this is Major Lady. They said you purposely, as basically a FU to them, made this doll after the lawsuit came out to even further willfully infringe on their rights. They said Tiny has a cape dress on, and this doll, even though her outfit is a different outfit, she has a cape on. She is from a 4-girl group, and Tiny is from a 4-girl group, and her name is Major Girl, and this doll's name is Major Lady. They said that this doll right here was copying Beja Rodriguez, and they were copying their New Year's Eve look. Okay. They said that, hold on, let me show y'all the picture that they put together of, because they had a picture of Tiny with the group Escape, and also with the doll, and the doll being in a group also. So hold on, let me pull that up. Hold on, sorry, y'all. Wait, I think I have it on Instagram. Okay, here we go. I got it on Instagram. Sorry. It's a lot to talk about. I'm trying to remember everything. All right. So they showed this to the jury. They said that, you know, this was a copy of Tiny, because Tiny, back in her Escape days, she would always wear red hair. That was like her signature hair color. They said that her Instagram is Major Girl. The doll is Major Lady. This doll is sold in a group of 4 band members, and they're in a group. And they said Tiny, who would always wear this orange hair, is also in a girl group from Escape. And so they said that they did this on purpose, and they purposely ripped them off. They said that these dolls are sold as a group, like Tiny was in a group. They said that the Punk Boy and Rocker Boy was stolen from them. They said these outfits was also stolen from their likeness. And they said that they copied their red carpet looks and things like that. I'm trying to think of anything else because I kind of breezed through some of it. What else came up throughout the trial before I get off of here? So, in response to that, MGA basically said that there's nothing original about the OMG Girls. They didn't have any success. They didn't make it nowhere. They didn't copy them because nobody knew that the OMG Girls existed. They said that they never sold any albums. They never won any awards. They were not shit. So they were nothing to copy. They said that they would never mirror their dolls after the OMG Girls. They said that T.I. and Tiny are just trying to do a shakedown. They said that the only doll that was a celebrity that they ever licensed a doll behind was Paris Hilton. And I found that ironic because out of all the dolls that you clearly see you ripped off Lady Gaga. You ripped off Beyonce. Now, what the jury did not see is you also were called out for ripping off other creators, such as Amina Musiolo. The jury did not get to see this, but, being that I know about it, you guys have used influence off of lesser famous people, and you have been called out for it several times. And so their claim was, we wouldn't copy them. We didn't know nothing about them, even though the main designer follows T.I. and Tiny, follows their 7-year-old daughter. The other designer is a super fan of both Lady Gaga and Beyonce, and the dolls were marketed after Lady Gaga and Beyonce. Lady Gaga and Beyonce both publicly acknowledged the OMG Girls. Some of their images were direct copies of things that they wore and things like that. So they did closing arguments for MGA, and basically when they did closing arguments, they basically said, I feel bad because they got to pack it up. And what Jennifer Keller did as an attack to Brianna Womack was below the belt, uncalled for, and out of fucking line. It was beyond out of line, and I'm going to talk about it right now. Let me pull up a picture of Brianna real quick so I can put it on the screen, and then I'll talk about what happened in closing, and then we'll wrap this up. We will wrap this up. If there's anything else that I forget, then I will talk about it later. Okay. Let me pull this up real quick. Okay, so this is a picture of Brianna Womack. She is the I believe her name was Beauty in the group. And she basically was, a family friend who like one of their bodyguards basically heard that they were looking for a girl, and she joined the group. Now, when they did closing arguments, the lawyer basically focused in on Brianna Womack. Now, as I told you guys in the beginning of this video, the girl on the left, which is Beja Rodriguez, her father is from the group Silk. Okay? Y'all remember the popular group Silk? Wait, how did that flip? I accidentally flipped the picture. Y'all remember the group Silk? There's a meeting in my bedroom. Okay, so from what I'm hearing, Beja's father is from the group. T.I. and Tiny are basically the mother and stepfather of Zonique. Brianna Womack does not have famous parents, right? So this was the closing arguments. Jennifer Keller, let's put her picture up here. Let me pull her picture up there. Oh, wait, that's kind of blurry. Now, the main two who were litigating this was Chase and Jennifer. Chase was very nice to me, at least. You know, he said, hi, hey, oh, that's Nick at night. You know, he was cool. Jennifer, she basically would be up in there and she would be walking around like, don't even look my way. Like she's one of those, like, you know, I don't know if she's racist or not, but she came off very, don't even look my way, don't even look over here, don't even nothing, you know. But her partner Chase, he was very nice. He would, you know, say, oh, hey, that's Nick at night, like, you know, like, oh, I seen your videos, you know, stuff like that. But her, she very much a B.I. Y'all know what I'm saying? Yeah. So she gets on closing arguments and she basically says, you know, she feels sorry for Brianna Womack because Brianna Womack is from Mobile. I think it was Mobile, Alabama, or wait, is it Mobile, Alabama? Where is she from? I think it's Mobile, Alabama. Where is Brianna Womack from? Mobile, Alabama. Yeah, okay. So Brianna Womack is from Mobile, Alabama. She doesn't live in Atlanta like Beja or Zonique. She lives in Mobile, Alabama. So she took a significant amount of time in her closing to basically say, I feel sorry for this little girl. She doesn't come from money. She doesn't have anything. She didn't make it as a success in a group. She doesn't come from famous parents. And T.I. and Tiny got her thinking that she's about to win some money from this case. We didn't copy them. And now poor little Brianna Womack is going to have to pack it up and go send herself packing to Mobile, Alabama with nothing. She didn't make nothing. She didn't accomplish anything. And she basically is now about to have to go back to her boring little life. Now, I'm paraphrasing. I don't have the transcripts in front of me. But I'm like, that's a little low. That is a low, below the belt jab. And throughout the entire case, instead of focusing on the actual merits of the case, actually, you know, focus on T.I. and Tiny and the OMG Girls as a group, to single her out and talk about how, oh, you feel bad for her because now she ain't about to have nothing and she didn't accomplish nothing and she don't have famous parents. So basically she's a broke little girl that's about to go home broke. I thought that was disgusting, done in poor taste, and out of fucking line. That was completely out of line. Like, there's ways for you to make your case and say, hey, we didn't copy them. I hope that, you, the jury, can see that, we've been making dolls that had color hair. There's ways for you to say that, but to single her out and do that low blow attack was scandalous, and it was out of line, and it was uncalled for. It just really was. Like, when Brianna Womack was on the stand, she was like a sweet girl. She didn't give either attorney attitude. She was answering their questions to the best of her ability. She was, she was very nice. She was very sweet. So that attack was uncalled for. It really was. Like, it really was disgusting. It was totally, disgusting. But all in all, they played dirty. To me, it seemed like they were really playing dirty. At one point, I didn't hear it, but some of the other reporters said, like, I think it was a day that I didn't come. But one of the reporters told me that when Jennifer Keller was on the stand, they said that she had like made a comment to the judge about them being friends or having like a mutual friend or something like that. And it was like, they said like it was random for her to bring it up because like it didn't even make sense why she brought it up. But I guess she kind of like made some type of comment to show that her and the judge, either they have mutual friends or they both are friends, like are they friends? It was something like that, which was like, that was interesting, my opinion, and I'm gonna just give my opinion of what I think about the case and things like that. There were things that happened in the first trial that helped Tiny and T.I. and went in their favor, and it basically showed that the dolls were a copy from them. But on this second trial, there were certain doll pictures and references that were not shown in this trial. Like in the first trial, they had put up a picture of TLC, and they basically were saying that they didn't copy the OMG Girls because, there were girl groups that wore this outfit and they got inspiration from TLC. And then the jury was able to see this outfit don't look like TLC. This outfit looked exactly like the OMG Girls. So on the second time around, they X'd out that picture. So this picture was not shown to the second jury. They tightened up and they got rid of this picture. So that kind of helped their case by not showing the TLC picture, because then they don't have that, two referencing points. Also, this picture right here was a doll that had like this mohawk. And then, in the first trial, they showed, and when they testified with Zonique, they showed her with this mohawk, and then they showed the doll. Where's the doll? They showed the doll who had a similar mohawk. So hold on, let me where is that doll at? Oh, here we go. Okay. So she, they showed this in the first trial, and this comparison was shown to the jury. But in the second trial, because they did not let them go after Zonique with like the racist stuff that they did the first time, they threw this picture out. And so they didn't have this picture to reference, them and their belief that, this was ripoff of Zonique. So I think that kind of hurt them. I think that the main thing that the jurors said was they were extremely convinced by Blanche Consorti's testimony. They said that they believed her. They believed that she was telling the truth. They believed that she was honest when she said that she didn't copy the dolls. They said that they were most persuaded by the designers. And they said that when they seen the dolls, they did not think that the dolls looked like the girls. Now, in my opinion, what I think would have made their case stronger is not claiming all 31 dolls. Now, their angle of T.I. and Tiny was to say, hey, the OMG Girls created a look. Their look was fun and edgy clothing. They wore layer clothing. They wore jackets with belts and tutus with leggings and high-waisted pants and leg warmers. And, you know, that created their trade dress look. So sometimes they would wear layered, like a leggings with a skirt, or this time they would wear leggings with a tutu. And this time they would wear dresses with, like, you know, pink, purple, and blue. And their whole color scheme is pink, purple, and blue. And this creates the OMG Girls. Their argument was, even the dolls that don't look like the OMG Girls, these dolls are still an OMG girl, because you have to add diversity, and obviously you have to throw in a white doll and you have to throw in these other dolls if you're trying to have a diverse line. So automatically all of them are not going to be black. You're going to throw in, you know, other things to try to make it seem like you're not copying. And they copied the OMG Girls. So they felt like the dolls that look like the OMG Girls and the dolls that even have layered clothing, they felt like all of those were a copy of the collective brand of the OMG Girls. Now, I think that being that the MGA dolls did have LOL Surprise first, and then they had OMG second, and then they released a line called JK after that, I think that, to me, that made sense that, okay, the OMG name probably didn't come from the OMG Girls. You know, they showed documents that showed that, you know, we started out with LOL, then we went to OMG, then we went to JK with our product line, and we had TTYL. And so they showed that, you know, that's how they came up with the name. For me, I think a better angle would have been, listen, you steal from everybody. You stole and you made this Beyonce doll a complete steal, theft, ripoff. A complete ripoff of Beyonce. You stole and you made this Lady Gaga doll. This is a complete ripoff of Lady Gaga. And so I think a better angle is to go after, you're a fucking thief. Look, in addition to stealing from Lady Gaga, Beyonce, here are the dolls, and then show just only the dolls that have their exact outfit. I think what messed them up is having dolls in there that are clearly like not the OMG Girls. Like this doll and this doll are clearly Lady Gaga and Beyonce, but they were claiming this under the OMG doll umbrella and saying that, you know, all of these dolls are OMG Girls. But for me, I think that it would have been a better approach to not claim these two dolls. And I know monetarily, and I understand their angle. Their angle was, you copied the name from them, you copied the way that they dress, and even the dolls that are not dressed like them are OMG Girls. I get their angle, and they did a damn good job presenting their case. But, you know, I'm going to be honest. I think it would have been better, and if they go in again, I think it's better to listen. You guys are fucking thieves. Nothing about you is original. This is a copy of Beyonce. This is a Beyonce doll. This is a Lady Gaga doll. And guess what's also a doll that you copied? This is a OMG doll. This is, you have T.I. on your design documents. This is a T.I. doll. This is a OMG, like, and I would only point out and I would only claim the dolls that they stole from them and the outfits that they stole from them in my claim. And then within my claim, I would show how nothing is fucking original. They don't have originality. They claim that they're original. They claim that they have originality when everything is stolen from another individual. This is stolen from Beyonce. This is stolen, and they did kind of do that in a way by showing the documents said that they were creating a Lady Gaga and a Beyonce doll. But what messed it up is showing a document that says that you're making a Lady Gaga and Beyonce doll, but then you claiming that the doll is the OMG girl. You get what I'm saying? So I think a better argument is, yes, you made a Lady Gaga doll. You made a Beyonce doll. And don't claim those as OMG dolls. Claim the dolls that look like them. You are thieves. You copy. This is a Beyonce doll. This is a Lady Gaga doll. And here is the OMG Girls. I feel like that would have been a better case, to be honest. You know? Because nothing is original. Everything is a total, like, they say that it was just pieces of inspiration, but you can't tell me that this isn't a total ripoff of Lady Gaga. There's nothing that looks different. This is Lady Gaga. Like, when I'm looking at it, this is literally Lady Gaga. This is a stolen doll, and y'all did not license this doll to Lady Gaga. You did not license the doll to Beyonce. You think that it's okay to steal from people, make dolls, profit off it, and not give the people that you got it from any type of monetary compensation. Here is the OMG Girls, and these are the dolls that they copied. And, you know, I feel like that would have been a better approach to me. I think that there are dolls that were copied from the OMG Girls. I just, in my honest opinion, I don't think that all of them copied the OMG Girls, because in their mood boards, they have pictures of the people that they copied. And even though some of those mood boards I feel like are doctored up, we did not see, like, if you have 67 designers, is this all the mood boards from all the designers? I don't remember if that was clarified or not. You know, I felt like most of the mood boards that they showed was Blanche Consorti's mood board, and then they showed Laura Stevens, I believe, mood boards that she used. But what about all of the other 67 designers and their mood boards? But what I did see when they did show, you know, Laura, wait, she said, "You were never there to hear or receive the truth, only to judge MGA as I saw you sitting in the opposite side. I spoke in truth and in anger that my credibility as a designer is in question." Honestly, Laura, yes, I did. I was, and you could come up if you want to. I dropped the link for you to come up if you want to speak. When I was there to get a fair and honest and give a fair and honest review. And if you must know, the very first time that I was there, I did just that. I came there. I went there to receive the truth. And while I was there to receive the truth and I gave very unbiased reporting, Miss Laura, Miss giving all of this and giving all of that and shaking your head and acting like you were performing in a minstrel show, while I was there to receive the truth, I was bullied by MGA. I was racially profiled. So yes, the second time around that I came after his daughter tried to stop me from doing my job, and you can look on my tape, on my YouTube, and you can see my reporting was very down the middle. Because I could be honest. Unlike you, I don't feel like you're honest. I don't think that you was telling the truth at all. Okay? So let me give you some honesty and what honesty looks like. When I first went to MGA versus Tiny and T.I. trial, my reporting was very down the middle. Look up the video. Now, after I was bullied by Isaac Larian's daughter, she racially profiled, tried to stop me from doing my job. His son got in my face when his dad was trying to tell her that I have been doing my job. Once I went to court the second time, his daughter was trying to taunt me there. His sister kept trying to mad dog me. You're damn right I had a bias. I could keep it real. But even me keeping it real that I have a bias, I still have an authority to my audience to tell the truth. So when you got up there on the stand, I thought that I would be swayed outside of my bias after I got bullied and profiled. I thought that I would be swayed out of my bias. And you got on a stand and you acted ghetto and ratchet and you claimed that you were defending your designs, and I saw a copy. For a person to feel like you didn't copy them, how do you have a person and you have all of this pictures of Tiny in your feed? You have all of these followings of T.I., and then you also follow their 7-year-old daughter, but you want me to think that, oh, no, like you got no inspiration? No, you came off to me as a liar. And if you would like to speak, I'll bring it down a notch. I'll bring it down a notch and I'll let you speak. I'll let you speak. I will let you speak. We can have a civil conversation though. If you want to speak the truth, we could speak the truth now. Cause anything I say got truth to it. Now, and also anything I say, if I have a slight bias, I'll own it. I will absolutely own it. But understand me, nothing that I said today was a lie. Even with my bias of wanting them to win after being bullied by MGA's family members, it wasn't Isaac Larian. Isaac Larian was nice to me. What's his name? I done forgot the damn lawyer name. Skolnick was nice to me. Okay? I spoke to them every day as they spoke to me. However, the family was rude. The family was bullies. They kept trying to mad dog, so yes, I had a bias. Anything else? Hi, so how did you feel overall? How did you feel like it was going?
Isaac. Don't talk. Isaac. Don't talk.
Oh, okay.
No, I understood. No privacy. Thank you. Thank you for covering it.
Don't touch me.
See you next time.
If you want, don't touch me.
He's the CEO.
Can
You
guys let him be himself? Thank you. Have a nice day.
you want to talk? No.
See you next time.
No, they're not.
I'm with media. That's who I'm with.
Isaac.
I just was gonna say thank you for covering this case.
That's it. Okay.
That's all I was gonna say to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. You're doing your job. Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you.
All right, have a good day, you guys.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.
Bye, thanks.
Okay. So this was the first trial. So when it was declared a mistrial, okay, like I said, I had been up there giving a fair reporting. MGA's lawyers came up to me and they commended me on my fair reporting. Okay? MGA's personal litigation team came up to me and talked to me about how spot on I gave my reporting. After it was declared a mistrial, they chased me down, they racially profiled me, and they acted a complete ass to me, okay? And so, yes, I did have a bias. I did, okay? But I still, even with a bias, will never lie. Just like I just said, I think that they would have had a better case if they would have showed, hey, y'all stole this from Lady Gaga. Y'all stole this from Beyonce. And you stole this from the OMG Girls. Okay? Is she still in the chat? Does she want to come up? She don't gotta come on camera. But I would love to talk to her, honestly. And I won't be combative at all. I definitely will hear you out. And I would honestly would love to hear you out, honestly, to be truthful. So, would you like to come up? We can have a civil conversation. It ain't gotta be none of that. We two black women. So I want to You said, did I drop the link? I haven't dropped the link yet because I didn't open up StreamYard yet because she didn't say she was gonna come on or not. Somebody said we should have told them no, they was gonna lose, don't waste the money. Well, they didn't bring on the lawsuit. They did send a cease and desist and a demand letter demanding them to stop production of the dolls. MGA is the one who sued them first. They just countersued. You said Isaac did a spin. Isaac was nice. She said, I saw you sitting on their side of the courtroom, so I understand where you delusional loyalty lies. You can have that, sweetie. Let's see where you land in 3 years from now. First of all, nothing about me is delusional. I will continue to be working wherever in life, progressing in 3 years, as hopefully you will as well. I sat on both sides of the courtroom. If you must know, you can also ask counsel. There was days that I sat on the left and there was days that I sat on the right. I sat on both sides of the courtroom, sweetie. There was 5 days that I probably sat on MGA's side, and there was like 5 days that I sat on T.I.'s side. And actually, when you were testifying, bitch, I was sitting on the left because I was looking dead at your ass. And I was sitting on MGA's side, sweetie. Let's be for real if we're going to be anything. The first day you testified, because you testified 2 days. You know, remember the second time you lost your shoe and all that? The first day that you testified, I sat on the left side and I seen you put on a minstrel show. But you said, Nick, if she doesn't want to speak, let me know if you want me. No, she could talk. We're not gonna silence her. We not no, she could talk. She could talk, but if she gonna talk, that's what I'm saying, she a liar. She don't tell the truth. Cause she was there for 2 days. The first day she testified, I sat on the left side, which is MGA side, and I looked dead at her acting like a ratchet on the stand. Now, the second day, when she had came and she had lost her shoe and all that, they told her to calm her ass down because she came the second day. She, no, I think that's old. When she came the second day, you know, I did sit on the other side because nobody owns a damn side. It's a courtroom. And we could sit wherever the hell we want. You said you didn't realize each party had their own side of the courtroom. They have a side that they sit in the front. So they don't own the damn, neither side owns a damn side of the courtroom that you sit on. Like, you don't. Yeah, but it's been open. I don't think it's good.